You're welcome back. Now, in a moment, we'll be taking you back to the Accra International Conference Center and State House, where the final funeral rites of the former Vice President, Pakwesi Misarata, will be taking place. Mamavi and Roland will be coming to you live from there. But before that, you know, a lot of things have happened with the Ghana Police Service lately. They've been in the headlines for all the wrong reasons, from the recent assault of a customer at Midland Savings and Loans to the Seshi incident. Police officers seem to be in the bad books of many Ghanaians. Now, is the Inspector General of Police concerned? How does he intend to tackle the challenges bedeviling the Ghana Police Service? Why don't you join me as I interrogate the IGP?
Well, it's been a bit of a tumultuous time for the police. You've been in the headlines, unfortunately, for the wrong reasons a few times in the past couple of weeks, from the shootings in Kumasi to the beatings at the Midlands Savings and Loans Company, to the accidental shooting of a bullion van driver, and then just yesterday we hear news of a district commander, no less, ordering the beating of a child. These things are not making the police look good, but I wonder how you and the rest of the High Command are responding to them.
Right. Thank you very much. In fact, the police administration seriously view these happenings with sadness. You know, I wouldn't say all of them. Accidents do occur. And then also, at Manson Kwanta, I will say that the police officers went on a lawful operation, and definitely with this body of inquiry in place, we're going to come out with a report that would put the record straight, and possibly, if persons are to be blamed for anything, it will come out from the report. The police administration is going to fully cooperate with these investigations because we do not have anything to hide. So that is the position of the police administration. The immature act of a police officer, this Lance Corporal Amano, you know, that was shared on the social media platform, particularly involving such a bad decision making. You know, it kills our reputation. If you look at it critically, you know, the trust by the community sometimes is broken by some of these actions of our members. And as usual, we have our rules and regulations. So definitely, we have to take him through the process, and then administratively and criminally, because we consider it a crime as well. With the accidental shooting, I am hoping that after the investigation, everything will be made public, together with the previous ones, so that the public will know the actions that the police service have taken. So generally, this is what I would say. The last one, which you spoke about, that gentleman, already a query has been sent, and an interdiction is following before the service inquiry and the criminal action, you know, will take place.
Now, if I can get a bit more detail on each one, starting, of course, with the Kumasi shooting.
Right.
Now, I know that it would not be right for you to start to prejudge this situation in advance of an investigation. I know that. But I also know you're a police officer with a lot of experience. You've seen many crime scenes in your life. And this shooting, in essence, is a crime scene. They were shot, according to the police, in a vehicle. Do the facts, or do what you have seen bear out the narrative that is being given by these police officers?
Well, for now, I don't have a detailed investigation report. But shooting somebody in a car does not mean that the shooter is at fault. I don't even know whether they were grouped in the car there were a group in the car that were fired at. I haven't gotten that information yet. But be as it may, I mean, if there is exchange of fire, it could be in the car or it could be elsewhere. The firearms examiner has visited the bodies. He was present during the autopsy. He's going to come out with his report, and he will explain everything, you know, perhaps to the inquiry, the body of inquiry, so that the truth will come out. I do not want to prejudge, as you earlier on mentioned. It's still too early. As investigations are ongoing, we will wait and see the outcome of it.
Now, the government announced the commission of an inquiry into this, an independent inquiry. Unlike what we would have expected, which would be that the police would look into it, PIPs or whichever body in the police would look at this. Did that surprise you, that government called for an external inquiry rather than leaving it to you to look into?
Well, not at all. At least I have been an expert witness in a similar inquiry in Ghana here. That was the incident where 5 neighborhood watch committee members were killed. Yes. And at that time, I was the government analyst in firearms. So I did my examination, test fired all the weapons, and then I was able to give a report that helped the commission, a great deal. So the same thing is going to happen now. But let me also mention that in many jurisdictions, police malfeasance are normally tried by independent bodies, for obvious reasons, so that people will see the transparency in the investigations of the matter. So it does not surprise me at all. Maybe in future, that is the way we should go. And it will make every police officer sit up and be professional in the way we do our things.
It's interesting to hear you make that suggestion. Is that an indication that you don't have much faith in the investigations that are done internally by police?
No, not at all. I am saying that for obvious reasons. Immediately when this thing occurred, there was this outcry that we don't want the police to do it. Yes, that is the natural way for every human to respond to such incidents. But if we have an independent body trying a matter like this, I mean, it's a win-win thing, yes. Both parties will accept the outcome of the
Can you
inquiry.
recommend that in the future more of these investigations should be done externally, independently?
Yes.
Okay. Is it true that you and your team got chased away with stones?
Yes. Well, it depends who is saying it.
Well, you were there.
Yes, I was there, so I will give you my account.
Okay.
Yes, we arrived in Kumasi, purposely to find out what actually happened, and see what we can do to manage the situation. And on our arrival, we were led to the regional administration where we met the regional minister. We briefed him about our mission, and there we met the minister for information, and then the minister for inner city and Zongo. Yes, they were all there. So during our discussions, we got to know that the council of Zongo chiefs and then the imams are going to meet us, for some discussions at the mosque at Aswasi. Well, I said, but is that place okay? They said, well, the people say that, yeah, we should come. So in the convoy, we all drove straight to Aswasi. And when we got to Aswasi, at a junction, we saw some irate mob, some burning lorry tires, and some throwing some stones. As soon as we got there, I mean, I'm a police officer, I have a gun, and we have all these water cannons and other things. It was needless to have another confrontation with these people. So I gave the order that we should turn and go back. So that is what we did. We went back to the regional administration. So this time around, the Council of Zongo Chiefs, the Imams, they all came there, together with the members of the bereaved families. And we had a very fruitful discussion. We told them about our position, that we don't want to hide anything. And therefore, since they have been at the mortuary during the autopsy, they saw everything. Pictures were taken. So that alone is enough for the commission of inquiry. The bodies can then be buried. And then following that, I also told them that we are ready. We will open up to the commission. Everything about it, we will cooperate with them. So that is how it ended. And I couldn't return that same day, even though we had wanted to. So I took the opportunity to also visit a survivor of a shooting incident at the Manson Quanta. Yeah. You know, and that gentleman, yes, I went and met him at home. Yeah, a police officer with his relatives. And we had a very fruitful chat. I could see he was a bit traumatized, but after talking to him, I could see he was getting better and better. In fact, one of the officers, who is also a relative, did mention that I have been a clinical psychologist for their brother because of the way he's feeling now. You know, so the following morning, we came with the first flight to Accra. So that is exactly what happened. Yeah.
How did it feel seeing the people who you and your men and women have been tasked to protect, revolting in this manner at the sight of you in the community? How did it feel as Inspector General, seeing those scenes in Kumasi?
Yes, it's not a very good feeling. And we know that every police officer on the beat, or every frontline police officer in particular, becomes the face of the Ghana Police Service. So any malfeasance or nonfeasance that would tarnish the image of the police service also put us in a very vulnerable situation as police officers. So you begin to think about so many things, you see, and it is for us to